There's a passage of Scripture in 1 Corinthians I'd like to read for you this morning. And it says, "Whether therefore ye eat or drink, or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. Give none offense, neither to the Jew, nor to the Gentiles, nor to the church of God, even as I please all men in all things, not seeking mine own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved." You know, of course, it's speaking primarily, this passage of Scripture is in offending a weaker brother in what we eat or drink. But I believe Jesus was an offense to this world in what he did and what he said. He divided people. He divided families over who he is and what he came to do. He was criticized because he sat with sinners and rather than the righteous or self-righteous. And in this context of Scripture, to do all to the glory of God, just that one passage tells me that I need to be conscious about serving the Lord and being faithful to Him and not worrying about what man will think about what I do. So there's a balance in it. For instance, I went into a house of prostitution one day in Honduras. And our team was out on the street witnessing, and a young medical student asked me to go in. He wanted to talk to me. He wanted to sit in this cafe. Well, it was a house of prostitution. And there were girls in there, and some of them half-dressed, and men. And so I sat down in a booth where this young man was sharing Christ with him. And it looked like a young 15-year-old girl. She was very young, and a man came down from the upper floor, and I knew what was going on. She came by my table, and I reached out because the mercy and love of God just was in my heart for this young lady. And I reached out and I grabbed her by the arm. I didn't, forcefully grab her, but I touched her arm and it was covered in filth and dirt. And I looked at her and I said, "Honey, God loves you and He has a plan for your life." I'll never forget that moment, because that young girl was probably in the lowest rung of what life existence is here on this earth. And the mercy and the love of God that I experienced that moment for this young lady was overwhelming. And I remember Jesus was criticized for walking among sinners. We just need to be obedient to God and bring all glory, and whatsoever we do, glorify Him. That's my message from the cross this morning.